once again to Mearachd, episode 27. You're muted, Whitney. Still muted.
We have Nature's Miracle Just for Cats calming spray. It reduces stress, promotes relaxation, and reduces hyperactivity.
Do not spray on cats.
Highly recommended.
Do not spray on
Don't spray
cats.
on cats. Spray on
Do not take internally.
Like.
Also, do not take internally. Speaking of not taking internally, this is a bad segue, but I'm doing it anyway. What happened last session?
Took that spray internally.
So last time we set out for North Point, but we didn't have any horses. We could pretty well get a cart, but we just didn't have any horses for it. So we went to the wilds to try and tame some horses. We came across a rhino, some giants, but we avoided them. We found some horses, and Comstock attempted to wild empathy and tame them, but they just really weren't in the mood for that and ran away. So, deciding that it was not going to really be easy to get wild horses, we decided to go to Fort Jericho to see if we could either get like a teleport or buy horses there. On our way, we ran into the Pegasi and convinced them to take us to North Point by flying us there, and we arrived in 4 days. Once we got into the city, we found out that the mining company was out of business, but the guards suggested we try the new owner, which was Fortress Holdings, and directed us there. We met a very abrasive receptionist that Erasmus for some reason likes, and signed in. 4 of us met with someone at the Landshark Mining about the Landshark Mining Company. But Kent wrote down horsepower and was directed to a different person who was very confused and eventually told him to maybe try wands and things. So we spoke to someone about the property. They thought that maybe we wanted to purchase it, but we arranged a tour 6 days from that day at the Second Sun's Light. They want 300 gold points per square feet for the property, and they told us we could go to the Museum of the Heroes to learn more about them. Out front was a statue of Kandor that was done in stone, and it tells us the weather and local news. And the museum told us a little bit about the heroes, and it's also sponsored by Blacksmith Inc. We updated Kandor on what we found, and he was upset that they had the audacity to put him in stone, that they should have at least gone with marble if they were going to put him in some kind of rock. And so we came up with the plan of when we go on the tour, we're going to try and lose the tour guide and go for the deepest part of the mine. In the meantime, we decided to stay at the White Pegasus Inn, appropriately named. We all got rooms there, but they're like individual rooms, and they have like this advertising thing where basically it scans the things that are in your bag and it like tailors ads to you based on, you know, like your interests. It has an algorithm, you might say. So we killed some time while we're waiting on the tour. Erasmus studied in the library. Konstag hung out at the park. Nikolai tried vegetarian restaurants, but did not want to attend the anger management that was directed at him. Brianna went to dance clubs, plans meetings. Oh, she wanted to meet with the party to kind of like discuss the strategy, and then bought perfume. One thing, when we had contacted Kandor and we told him that the museum was sponsored by Blacksmith Inc., he basically told us, do not have anything to do with them. But I think Kent Hurd have everything to do with him because he went to Blacksmith Inc. and basically signed away his death for an item, which is a monocle to see secrets. And he went back to his room and like pulled out the book, and he saw that the book basically, the secret of the book was just to make it, to make him like open the world to demons or summon demons. Yes. And so he basically broke the spell of the book on him. And that's where we left off.
Yeah.
Also, the monocle, like, attached to his eye.
Yeah.
It's like not
Yes.
removable, right?
The monocle is like
in my face.
So there is that as well.
Also, the contract for the White Pegasi Inn was like super long and kind of disturbing.
they're just looking at everything you're doing in the room and everything you have. It's fine.
It's basically like one of those terms of service agreements like you get on Facebook and stuff. You're basically signing away all your privacy, but
It couldn't be possible that they're run by blacksmithing. Just say it. I wouldn't know that. But
Why would I ever have that happen?
I don't know. But that would be meta, so.
Yeah. So, I'm echoing really bad. Winnie, is the mic where it normally is? Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, so the party spends their time waiting for the inevitable day where you are to meet with the gentleman who's going to showcase to you the mine.
Well, we need to meet and strategize, and hopefully Kent will tell us about the idiot thing he did.
Okay. Oh, you can indeed meet and strategize. Where are you meeting? How are you meeting? With what weapon are you meeting with?
Are there rooms big enough that we could just meet in one of our rooms?
Yes.
Let's meet in my room.
you don't want to go to Butterflies?
That's not a place.
Oh, let's go to Butterfly.
It's not a place.
Oh wait, which is the place that had the buffalo cauliflower wings?
You can go to that place. I don't have a name.
Okay.
But
It's called the House of Buffalo Cauliflower.
It's called Nervous Twitch. Got it.
no, it's not called Nervous Twitch. That's there from earlier when John redeemed an NPC quirk.
I know.
It's called the Heaving Vegan.
Eating vegan.
It's called I know, Cander's Camp.
It's called V5. It's where all the level 5 vegans go.
Oh,
It's
nice.
called Pegasus Wild Wings.
Nice. They call it P-dubs for short.
Wild Empathy Wings.
Oh, nice.
Alright, so you guys can meet up wherever you're planning to meet up.
I want to try the cauliflower wings,
Okay.
the much talked about.
Yeah. They're every bit as good as the two of you keep imagining them to be.
People in foreign lands are envious that we have access to such deliciousness.
Like cauliflower.
It's almost like horsepower.
So guys, you put them together, you've got cauliflower.
A bad pizza brand.
Well, we could do that next.
So guys, what's our plan? How are we going to ditch the tour guide? Because I have an idea.
Who's got explosives? We're going to get explosives, right?
I
No.
don't think we should mess with explosives.
How are we going to get through the walls?
They're gonna guide us in.
Who's going to guide us in?
The tour guide.
The tour
before
guides are
we
going to take
lose
us
them.
through. Wait. So you're saying that the tour guides are going to take us through the secret passages?
There's secret passages.
Well, I'm going to assume. I don't think.
I
Okay.
guess. I mean, there could be. I mean, if they don't know about this hideout, then it is likely
Then
that it's.
I would.
I was thinking that I could distract the tour guide and keep him busy. Or
so
her.
we're gonna split up the party then.
Well, I just throwing it out there. I could probably keep a tour guide busy for a while.
Right, but then we separate from you, which is
Yes.
dangerous.
That's true.
Could you like keep them busy for a couple minutes and then tie them up? And just leave them somewhere? And we can come back and get them later. Put a bag over their head, say it's some kinky. You could do that, right?
Next, you're going to tell me I need to tie them to a bed or something.
I mean, I don't think there'll be a bed in the mine. But if
could
you
take one
bring
with
an
us.
inflatable bed, I guess.
We could take one with us. I'm all for taking a bed with us down in the mine.
Yeah, I could definitely distract the tour guide if someone else wanted to.
With a bed. That's what we're gonna distract him with. We're gonna distract him with a bed.
Well, first off, we don't exactly know how the tour is set up. We don't know if there's like a place where we could shake them. We don't know any of that stuff. Is there a local map we have consulted? I hear a lot of speculation, but we have not.
I guess there's also a concern that there could be other people on the tour with us.
I mean, I could
But they're
probably sleep
tourists,
with all
so
of
we don't
them,
gotta
I
worry about them.
guess.
They'll just be busy looking around.
If it's a large crew, we could just sneak off one by one.
Does
Like
the
I did in
local
every-
library have anything about the mine?
No, it does not. Other than saying it's a historical landmark and that it was once owned by the Land Shark Mining Company.
Are blueprints like a public thing, like that they print, like they have?
There's not
blueprints
any
on file?
blueprints that were ever devised for the Land Shark Mining Company establishment.
I hear they weren't that efficient. Despite being heroes and all.
Well, I still say if we're depending on what we're dealing with, if it's a crowd of people, I mean, I might not be able to distract a crowd of people, but if it's just a tour guide, I could probably distract them if someone could tie them up while I'm distracting them.
But if we had explosives, it'd be really easy to distract people.
I worry though with explosives that we could end up trapping ourselves in there.
Not if we bring enough explosives.
Then
They
we
could all
can kill
just come
ourselves.
crashing down on us.
I'm not for explosives. I appreciate the excitement
Also, where would
for
we get explosives?
explosives.
Well,
Couldn't that also draw more attention to us, potentially?
possibly. Or we could cause an explosion somewhere else, which would draw attention that way,
Let's take
and then we could
explos-
go a different direction.
So
Let's
now
take
we can put
explosives off
entertaining,
the
useful,
table.
and helpful suggestions as opposed to things just blowing shit up.
Well, we could find perhaps some sort of mining pick or something.
I
Tried
have one.
that already.
We have those.
So,
Well-
what do folks think of having Brianna try and distract them, then put something over them and tie them up?
I think that's we should see how things go before we resort to skullduggery. Like I said, there may be a point where we can easily shake them. It may be that we get the world's slowest and laziest tour guide.
Shake
It
them.
may be that
meaning
we have to
just
come back at night.
leave from them.
Yeah,
Maybe we should organize to go on the tour twice.
I think that would actually be good. Yeah,
I
Would
didn't
that arouse
really.
suspicion?
I didn't
Why?
really think that they were doing regular tours of the place. I thought it was more like they were showing it to prospective buyers.
Okay, we go once, then say we're thinking about purchasing, and we go a second time. Then we can tie somebody up, because then there'll be less people.
So this could just be kind of our way to scout out our first trip. That seems
Certainly.
like a good idea.
Or we could plant the explosives on the first run, and in the second run,
Yep.
we know when to
I
detonate.
don't think we're gonna do anything with explosives.
It'll make my afternoon very boring.
Can I notice anything about Ken's eye?
It looks a little bigger and a little bit different in shape, but otherwise, I mean, that could just be slept weird.
As long as we're saying that, does anybody in the group look different to me?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Oh, shit.
it may happen.
Well, I say we order another round of these delicious cauliflower spicy bites. And I guess, we don't have to take action on the first go round. It might be better to scout out the mine and see what's there.
I think that's a sound idea. It can be our exploration trip, and it seems like a good enough excuse that we do feel more serious about buying to schedule a second one, as long as we're not on any kind of tight timeline with Candor.
Well, he didn't give us an exact timeline, although we should probably try and do it sooner rather than later, because I'm sure that there is some urgency to it.
We could also see if we even have to schedule a second tour, or if we can somehow find a way to sneak in the second time.
Yeah, I feel like we, without actually scouting the place, we're really kind of making a lot of assumptions, especially about explosives. I don't assume one can just walk into the mine, and I would imagine.
Kent, I thought you preferred to remain in the shadows. How is it that you're really enjoying explosives?
We're going down in a mine. We need to find a secret passage. You think they're going to go, hey, mind if we just stay here with a pickaxe?
I mean...
And besides, how many of you can shadow in? I know I could if I really wanted to.
All I'm saying is...
I'm sure.
We have
the only
pants...
option other than that is explosives.
We have pants that we could
no
literally put
in between
a pickaxe
figuring
down
something
without them knowing.
Okay. So how you're using the pickaxes without them knowing is my question.
Keeping it
Well,
in our
Explosives
pants.
explosives that are carefully placed, small possibly, not necessarily large, then detonated in some areas will cause a distraction and mass confusion.
Perhaps, but it
Except
could
for
also
those
cause
who
a
know
cave-in.
said explosions are going to occur.
But it could also cause a cave-in. That's my
So
concern.
let's go check the mine out and find out what's going on there
Okay.
and see how it's set up.
Okay.
I mean, is the location of the mine well known in town? Like, do people go, "Oh, look, there's the old mine"? Is it?
Yeah, it's a little ways outside of towards the outskirts of town, but it is a well-known place.
Is it guarded with a fence, or
There's like like a wood fence that kind of wraps around the area.
What about security?
There's no security. The fence is locked, or the gate is locked.
Is there anything we could learn about the mine from folks in town? Just
If you ask around,
Yeah,
people
I'm
just
gonna
tell you
ask.
it's been around there for a while, and they don't know anything about it because nobody's ever been inside. But the heroes used to be there.
huh?
We can always ask for a second tour to say that we want to check for poisonous gases or something.
Poisonous gases.
or
Yes,
explosions?
We can be the poisonous gas inspectors.
I think that's a great idea and probably a good sound career. Probably saves a lot of lives with being a poisonous gas inspector.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you have to dress in a yellow suit.
You have something against yellow?
No.
Hmm.
I just don't want to be a canary.
Well, I think this is a solid plan. We will get some intelligence once we see the mine for ourselves.
Agreed.
All right.
Okay, let's all right,
Anybody
so-
do anything interesting in the last couple of days?
Oh man, I went to this dance club and it was a little different than I was used to, but it was still fun. I had a pretty good time.
What kind of music did they play?
Oh, it was sort of different. It was kind of more reserved than I was used to.
Think of polka, but with less oompa.
What about you, Constog?
I really just went to the park.
Make friends with any animals?
No, I was more focused on writing.
Kanstag spent the day comparing Evermore and Folklore and comparing and contrasting and having a
And
tough
just
time picking.
appreciating.
Yes, exactly.
How about you, Kent?
I mean, what?
What did you do yesterday?
I was working more on my horsepower.
How did you do that?
Oddly enough, still nobody knows anything about horsepower. Like, it's got to be a spell. I mean,
Where did you
Almost-
try to get information from?
I went to some wand stores, a library.
Still nothing, huh?
Still nothing. Gotta find a place to get rid of books, too.
Get rid of books?
Yeah.
What
What
books
book
do
are
you
you
need
wanting?
to get rid of?
Yeah.
I'm tired of carrying this one around, and he thumps it on the table.
What?
You guys want to
Wow.
take this? I don't
I
need this
love
anymore.
that book.
You know what? After the 742nd reading, it really starts to wear on you.
Okay, what the hell
I've,
is
you know,
happening?
when I can tell you exactly where the periods fall, with by you with you reading it and knowing exactly where the misspellings are, all the things about summoning daemons, you got to take it out, get rid of it.
Did anything else change?
Did anything else? Yeah, I'm done with the book. I just said that.
Right, but why would you be done with the book just because you happened to read it the 742nd time?
Like I said, it started getting formulaic when it started talking. When you start reading the parts about summoning daemons, I just decided I was done
Wait,
with
what?
it.
Summoning daemons.
Was that in there when you read it before?
Yeah, it's always been in there. But like I said, if you've read it 742 times, it gets boring.
Roll me a bluff here. You will need to give me that, but
I'm not bluffing.
I mean, you sort of are.
Okay.
You're sort of misleading, but there's nothing you're saying
Yes,
that's
I'm misleading.
untrue. But that's still an
Yes.
aspect of bluff.
It's not untrue. It's always been there.
Do you want us to counter roll something?
Well, Brianna already has, so you can give me a gauge if you want.
Oh,
What did I do? I didn't
I have
even
a
see it.
-2, so.
Oh, I rolled terribly. Don't worry about
No,
it.
you're actually fine. Like, nothing you've said here is implausible.
Nobody else wants to get in on this?
See, I don't know if I was wondering if the questioning you're going for was getting into the meta, and I didn't want to push that.
Yeah, it's in a gray area here because like he's got a solid reasoning behind it, so it's not like this is an unbelievable bluff or even a loosely unbelievable bluff.
742nd time is not solid reasoning.
I think it is. I think eventually,
reading
like
the
you.
book more than twice is unreasonable. So
I mean, I think I would just be very confused because he has been like creepily devoted, and to all of a sudden be like, "Oh, I read it one more time," and now
I think confused is fair, but I don't think it's enough to really like ascertain anything about whether or not he's being sincere or not.
can I take the book, make sure to snap it closed? I'm gonna wrap it in something and I hate saying this, but put it in the pants.
Yeah, you stuff the book in your
Came out of
pants.
my pants, whatever.
You take something from his pants and you put it in your pants.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you've moved past the book, Kent. I know when I saw it, I didn't think much of it, and was amazed
Keep
by
that
how.
book of limericks.
Oh, that was probably great. That once was a mad from. Anyway,
Did I keep that one?
It's
I forget.
it's erotic
I
poetry,
don't
not
remember
limericks,
if you
right?
did.
It's the
It was
thought it was
revolved
erotic.
poetry.
Erotic
Yeah.
poetry.
Yeah. I made
erotic
up the joke
limericks.
that-
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I don't have it.
Yeah, I made up the joke that it was all limericks. It was actually supposed to be erotic poetry.
limerick book is in a different GM's world.
It's all about the nether yeah. I get to quote Chaucer.
But yeah, so the five of you got a little confused, I guess, at Kent's turning over a new leaf on the book. Can prepare for your meeting with the what's the term I'm looking for? Realtor?
Tour guide?
Realtor.
There you go.
They'll meet you just outside of the mine at the time you stated.
The extra dimensional holding company of Lando Laufman and Lake.
Hello. How are you?
I'm feeling fine to look into mine. And then Erasmus looks around as if he has made the cleverest joke in the world.
Yes.
Two
And
crickets.
nobody's laughing.
What's that?
I said a
No, he'll
Nobody's laughing.
he'll awkwardly yes. Very good. Very good.
While they're doing that, I'm going to try and hide behind Nikolai.
Okay.
So I want to try and stay out of the tour guide's vision since I did not originally sign up with them at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I will attempt to stay hidden behind Nikolai.
Okay.
Do I realize that he's trying to do this?
Give me a perception.
Oh, well, that's...
Oh, God, that's rolled.
Yeah, you can see him like hiding behind you.
So is the tour guide the same guy we talked to
No,
in
different
the office?
person.
Okay. All right. So Brianna will approach and say, "Hi there, I'm Brianna. It's very nice to meet you."
Hi, I'm Ferdinand.
Is Brianna wearing something like a little extra revealing today?
Yes. Always, but yes.
Well, I mean more than usual.
Well, shall we go in? I've got the key.
Sure.
He'll
Lead the way.
unlock the gate, open it up, and guide you inside. Inside, this place is empty. A big open area with a single, very heavily worn down building. A building that looks like it hasn't been touched for maybe centuries at this point. Stands near the entrance to the mine. There's some cart tracks that look like they have almost worn away to nothingness. There's a cart that's kind of like turned over just outside of the big entrance to the cave. Yeah, there's not a lot else here. Some like dirt, like cracked bottles and bits of paper and other things kind of.
Just like trash that looks like it's blown
Yep.
in.
What's the lighting like in here?
You're not in the cave yet, so it's
We're just
daylight.
outside still.
Okay.
So this is the place. This was the headquarters of the group. I believe they referred to themselves as the Abusement Park. I think that was Land Sharks. I'm sorry, Land Sharks. Sorry, my brain got a little confused with another group I'd heard about.
Excellent. And could we see the tunnels?
Sure. We can show you in there. Would you like to see the building first?
Yes, I think we'll
Sure,
see
yeah. To the
Yeah.
buildings.
Oh, okay. He'll lead you over to the building, get to the door, and like turn the handle and push it. And the door doesn't move, and he like shoulders it a bit, and then finally.
You want a hand?
Oh yes, please. Just be careful.
I can shoulder it for him.
Yeah. Give me a strength check. Yeah, you easily slam it open. The door like grinds against the floor, and inside there's just like bits of wood and metal and other things just kind of like piled up, like something broke in here and just people kind of left it there. It could use a little cleaning. Nobody's really been in here for a while, and supposedly it was broke when the heroes originally acquired the location. I just figured you'd want to see inside. Okay, well, we can press on deep into the mines.
Is there nothing inside at all?
Just a bunch of broken wood and metal.
Huh. So this is basically, because there are mines like the dwarves carefully shore everything up and it's built, and then there are holes in the ground. Is this more of a hole in the ground?
Yeah, this is like
or...
somebody built a hole in the side of a hill.
It's not what I was expecting. More of a dwarven mine kind of thing. I guess I overestimated there.
He'll start guiding you guys down, and as he does, he'll like reach down and he'll take out a torch and he'll like knock it on the ground and it will come alight.
I'll get up beside him and say, "Oh, Do you care if I stick close to you? It's rather dark down here.
Sure. And he will start guiding you down into the mine. It is very dark as you get in, a ways in. So this used to be originally a coal mine. They hit a couple of things, some silver and some gold, originally when mining operation was happening, and then the operation sort of stopped. Rumor was that people were coming back injured and hurt, and that brought a sort of pause to the mining operation. It was shortly after that the Landshark group took over the mine. And
did they not have good safety protocols in place, or what was happening?
no one was really sure. The rumor was that there were creatures inside the mine that they had dug into, but no one ever saw any creatures. At least no one that was alive.
Wait, people were getting hurt or killed?
Hurt. Well, hurt that led to death, but still goes on the book as hurt.
How many people were killed?
About 12.
Wow.
Right before they shut down the operation.
Wait, and Landshark took it over, and did they reopen it?
Nope.
Or...
Landshark never did anything else with it.
Then why did they buy it?
It's a wonder. It's the wonder of time.
And how deep does the mine go?
It goes. I'm not sure.
You don't know?
As we're having this conversation, I begin scanning the visible walls.
Okay.
Looking for things that shouldn't be.
You seem to have an invisible monocle. I don't know why that is in my head, but it's been...
So as you're looking around here, you'll notice that the entire cave itself has this like faint glow to it.
Nothing special about any particular...
It all feels like a lie.
Okay.
What would happen if I were to do a spell here?
Nothing that I could think of. It should be fine.
Great.
So we don't have a lot of knowledge, so I know... the reason I'm asking is because I know that, you know, like in other campaigns, I know you can't cast spells underground because of things. That's not something that we would know about, right?
But I assume we're also not underground yet.
Well, you are underground, but you can cast spells underground. But as you're looking about with detect magic, there's nothing magical in the area except the items that you all have.
Anything on the tour guide?
He's got the torch. The torch is magical.
Underneath, he's got a T-shirt. Please don't knock me out.
Well, I think I'd like to go deeper. Can we go deeper?
Yes.
Oh my!
Right this way.
When I mean deeper,
Should
I
we
mean, what
come
do you think
also?
of- Yeah.
I want everyone to come.
What do you think about
okay.
the ineffable truths of St. Thomas Aquinas? Let's really get deep.
He'll lead you further down one of the tunnels. It was said that right around here they'd started to hit some gold.
Wow.
I see anything different?
The whole thing has like this very eerie glow to it. But again, very dim. But there's not much to it. I don't want to be down here for too long. If there is something dangerous down here, I would not want to put any of you at danger.
What does he look like?
He is a human, sort of tall, a bit lanky.
Nothing unusual about him? Okay.
Oh,
Is
don't
he
worry.
attractive? Brianna specifically? So, like, is there any realness to it, or is she just like...
Let me find out. No, he's not particularly attractive. He's sort of plain. Almost too plain.
Don't worry. I can handle myself.
She's quite experienced, you might say.
Okay. Well...
Can we continue? We really want to get a good idea of the property, as, you know, we are considering buying it. So we would like to see as much as possible and go as deep as we can.
I'm probably gonna need some kind of diplomacy check, because I'm not really feeling comfortable with this.
You stayed in character when you said that. It was so good.
It's the nervous twitch.
Very odd.
So, I'm guessing from Nikolai, not me?
No, that should
From
be
you.
from you.
Nikolai, you
Just
can
making
give me a
sure.
diplomacy check as an assist, though.
I mean, it won't really... Oh,
It
wow!
does. I think, you know what? Why don't the 5 of you can look a little deeper, and I'll wait up top for you.
That would be most appreciative. Or I would be most appreciative of that. I'm sure I can make it worth your while.
Thank you. I'll see up top. Be careful.
How long do you think it'll take us?
I don't know. I haven't really been down there. I know it comes to a dead end at some point.
Some of our group's a little slow at moving, so I'd say give us a little while before you come to check on us.
Okay, I'll come down to you about here, and I'll try to shout down if I don't hear from you. Then I'll find another way.
Sounds good, thanks.
You're welcome.
And everybody
Brianna will
watched
wink
start
at him
blowing
as he
shit
leaves.
up and doing all kinds of crazy things, and who knows that it was a minimum of effort to outfox this guy. It's like,
No foxing required.
I know. He's like, yeah, just please don't make me go down in there.
Well, y'all can thank John's quirk for that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
John paid for an NPC quirk with his channel points and chose Nervous Twitch. So, tried to make sure the guy was up to persona. I hope that was enjoyable there, John. And yeah, you guys can press on deep into here.
Brianna is going to pull a torch out of her handy haversack and light it so that there's some light.
I'm going to activate my cap of light.
Okay. Your hat
I'm gonna
illuminates.
have absolutely nothing to help with underground.
Well,
Man, I should
Oh.
have.
some of you have light, some of you don't. Only some of you need light.
Erasmus, I'll give you a torch of mine and I'll light one of my own.
Thank you.
Anybody
I
else?
feel like I'm participating.
Anyone else need one?
Should we do like knowledge engineering or geography? Or is there anything we can do to suss out any structures?
So we'll get to that. I'll be giving you guys a check. I want to give you guys some description as you're going through these areas. So the tunnels branch out in a couple of different ways, and if you take your time to explore each one, you'll notice that like there's no threat here. There's nothing here that's coming to get you or dangerous. If it was, they'd probably have had issues with other people they've shown this place to. There is one length of the cave that goes deeper than all the rest of them. And it is after seeing enough of this that I would like either a knowledge dungeoneering or a knowledge engineering check.
Ooh.
And we still have just the faint glow on
Yep.
everything.
All right, so Erasmus, it'll click for you instantly. This isn't a mine. There's not like pick marks. It's not like been picked into for real. Aside from in one part you remember seeing, there were like some pick marks there. But the rest of this is designed to look like a mine but it's not a mine. This has like the way the stonework is cut. It's not sloppy. There's a sort of like it's not dwarven cleanliness to it, but it's like if a human were trying to make it look as much like it was hand carved out stone as opposed to or like as if it were a mine. It's like it's somebody trying to make a facsimile of a mine.
I'm going to relate it to the party. This is weird. This looks like a mine, but everything is orderly and done like in a way that you wouldn't expect a mine. It's like somebody spent a lot of time. Hey, let's make this look like a mine. You know.
What? That's creepy. What?
What does the wall feel like if you touch it?
Ooh, that's very good.
The wall is stone, but it feels more smooth than it probably should, considering that this has like supposedly been picked into.
Yeah, this is not a mine.
What is it?
Not a mine.
Heard
I'm
that
gonna
part.
touch the wall just to see what he does. I go, yeah, the stone is smooth. In a mine, the wall is not smooth.
Does it sound like what we think a mine would sound like?
No, it's like incredibly quiet for a mine. There's no like
no echoing.
There's minimal echoing. There's very little just sort of like that kind of like wind tone as it kind of breezes softly through the thing. It's eerily silent down here.
Huh.
If we walk into the wall, do we just bump into it?
Yes, you do.
If we close our eyes and walk into the wall,
Still bump
do we
into
still bump up into it?
Why are you
what?
walking into walls, Ken? What's going on?
I was just thinking like why we were doing that, and I'm like, oh yes, we've done that several times now, so it makes sense at this point to walk in the walls with your eyes closed because it's happening. Yeah.
Testing a theory.
Is your head okay? That was kind of those little
Seems
bumps
like
right there.
it seems like a candor thing. Like, this is like some weird lab candor setup somewhere, and you have to walk into the wall with your eyes closed in order to get into his random office he has put for himself somewhere in here, which has a series of books on famous sweetmeats of the realm.
I would like to pull out my sling and throw a rock at it off in the distance. I'm still throwing it at the wall. I just don't want to throw it like right next to where everybody is.
You will do that, and let me change the music for a second here.
Do 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 do.
And you will roll for initiative.
Because the wall's actually alive.
It's a stun jelly. Be prepared for 4 pseudopods and stunning damage.
The bits of the wall kind of bend open, and slowly a figure steps out. A figure with a face like an ant, a body sort of like an ant-like creature, but on its hind legs, made out of solid gold. It looks over the 5 of you, and
guys,
its antennas start to kind of like trace around each of you.
I've never seen one, but since it's gold, can we go with this is a gold Formian?
Yeah, I'm feeling like it's a gold Formian.
Yeah, gold Formian.
Formian is a planar creature, right? Could we do a knowledge test planes?
You can. Yeah, so Erasmus, you will know...
Holy shit.
You will know that Formians are... So here it's a little bit different. While you're using Knowledge of the Planes, they're not really an extra planar creature per se. They are what are referred to as a creature that has been sort of tainted by extraplanar magic. And it has produced a... normally, Formians would be this very ordered and organized, structured group of creatures that would have a central queen and a sort of hierarchy, and they devote themselves to kind of keeping things in this order. They're very ant-like in a large number of ways, but much more intelligent and much more orderly than they would traditionally be. But you also know them to be extinct. Four-men haven't walked this world for thousands of years. And here before you stands the closest facsimile to one you've ever seen in real life, and might ever see in real life.
Brianna will speak up and say, "We are here on behalf of Candor."
In what language?
I would say probably common. I don't speak a whole lot of languages, but I'll probably say that in common.
I will
I'm gonna
repeat it
tell
in
you, even as
undercommon.
somebody that reads a lot of D&D books, I don't even know what language Formians speak.
It will lower its head down towards you, and its like antenna will kind of reach out. And for a moment, it will pause
that's
just
cool.
a few inches in front of you. And it just kind of holds there.
Well, ants don't talk as such, so I wonder how this thing communicates.
Maybe if we think Candor.
You know what? I'm gonna go with it. I'm projecting
Picture,
with my mind.
picture Candor in my mind.
Yeah.
Okay, as you picture Candor in your mind, it kind of like its antennas perk up.
Good job, Ken.
And it takes a step back. And it turns to the wall, and it moves its front arms, and the wall will open. And behind
Well,
it, you will
boy,
see
howdy.
a tunnel that goes further down.
I will-
I'm just keeping up with the dead weight thing. That's all.
I will say very surprisingly, that was a great idea, Ken.
The 8 will provide.
Don't say that part, please. Let's follow.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
If you
Now
go ahead.
I'm assuming as we move in past the walls to the new cave section, the exposed cave section, they're no longer glowing, right?
They are no longer glowing. As you all move your way in, the creature will turn and it will pull the walls back together.
Oh,
So we're like closed in
Yeah.
now.
And it will lead you down the tunnels. It reaches a point, and as it passes it, you will see a big, a big hole where it looks like a bunch of large rocks have fallen to fill in the gap that's there. And a little ways later, you will come upon a massive span of city. You are kind of you kind of reach a plateau that looks down into this area that is like dug into the ground, and there is just a massive expansive city. And this is a city like none you've probably ever seen. None of you have ever really seen an underground city, and this would even still be different to you had you seen it.
I've seen an underground city.
Uh,
The dwarves.
Oh yeah, that's right. So this is different. So
Okay.
this city is like there are like little cubes all over the place throughout in the sky and like going all the way down, building out of the stonework, and then there's like pillars connecting each one to hold them up. But it's basically like if somebody spaced out a Rubik's Cube, like a 1,000 connected Rubik's Cube thing, and then connected each of the parts with little stands, and then made little walking bridges in between each of the cubes. It is the most orderly city, but you can see like various different people. There are dwarves and some like humanoids and some strangely toned elves. As well as a few of these like creatures that look kind of similar. You're noticing this as he like kind of walks you down a ledge a ledge of stairs that will like take you towards the city. There are also some humanoids that look kind of like a bit tinted in a goldish or maybe like bronzish color, maybe a blend of the two, but are also like have a Formian head upon or have an ant-like head upon them. As you know, it's a Formian, so Formian-like head on them, but a humanoid body as opposed to a traditional Formian body.
What about the were the elves and dwarves and everything? Did they have normal heads?
They
or
all
the
have normal
Formian?
heads.
Okay.
Actually, I want to give you guys a picture of what a Formian looks like. Grab one of these for you. Feel like it's not done justice if you can't see what it looks like. Where's a good one here that I like?
I've seen him. Well, I've heard about him.
I'll choose the classic one.
Apparently the drunken tales are true. Maybe I should have studied him more.
But yeah, as you make your way down, he starts he'll walk you down the steps, and then once he walks you a little ways down the steps, he'll start taking you across some of the bridge work that they've kind of put here. But he seems to have a very clear path that he is taking. These are not compliant with. That's great.
OSHA regulations?
No, I was looking for a Formian picture, but the picture is in WebP and it's not supported by.
Shared it in Zoom.
It's not the image format is not supported by Zoom, so I need to grab a different one. Which sucks because it means I have to grab a.
Sorry, I meant like share your screen rather than having to permanently.
I'd rather have it on hand, anyway.
Okay.
Riveting stuff here. But he has a very clear path that it is taking you on down the streets, because it walks a certain way, then turns, and then sort of takes you down another walkway downward. So it looked like this, but made completely out of gold.
Ew.
Funky.
So is it light down here? Like, can we put out our torches?
There is no light down here.
Oh. It's a city that's entirely dark.
Yes.
People are like moving
The
about.
last underground city I went to was totally dark as well. They didn't take too kindly to light around there.
Well, everybody's got dark vision. What difference does it make?
Yeah, you don't need light if you can see in the dark.
Eventually, he'll get you down to the lowest level of floor. And as he does, there is one of the walls here. There is like a spot that's kind of built out of the wall, but there is also another spot where you can actually see out into the ocean. It's sort of like glasswork that allows you to see out of the bottom of the floating island, and you can see beyond it the wonders of the ocean below.
Oh, how cool.
And he gradually moves you towards this large sort of carved out section between the two windows. And there, in front of this carved out section where there's this big box, there is a large golden door, and standing before it are these two platinum Formians that look over.
They leveled up.
That look over the gold one. For a moment, their antennae go back and forth at each other.
I'm gonna think about Candor.
And the gold one will step out of the way. The platinum ones will turn and open the main door. And inside, you will see a massive window with a large throne, a giant throne. And seated upon this giant throne is a huge Formian creature, made entirely out of gold, but unlike the others who move in a more sort of animatronic way, there's something about the way this one sits and the way this one moves as it motions for you to come in that seems less automated and more alive,
Like we might be able to communicate it with it not in our thoughts.
perhaps. But it gestures for you to enter.
Let's go.
I will enter.
As the 5 of you enter, the doors will close behind you, and the king will, without uttering a word, present to each of you in your heads Kandor has sent you, then everything is wrong.
Seems to be how things go. Whenever Kandor sends us anywhere, we find out that things are a disaster.
Is he well?
He is recovering.
When last I had heard, he was at the precipice of death.
Is this all by thought?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
I will share a memory of the last time we saw Kandor, whenever we left, but like right as we left Harveston.
As you do that, you'll feel like something is deposited in its place. No, not in its place, but like tagged to it. Something that makes you feel that feeling you get when somebody hands you like a few gold pieces.
Give her a mental tip.
Oh, I was just gonna say, feeling pretty good about things.
It's good that he is well. I worry many times over that he falls and the creations that he placed here, well, will fall as well.
How do you know Kandor?
Kandor is why I am here. When I was first put here, I was confused, and like you can see images of like this little kind of he must be little because he's kind of like looking up at Kandor. Why did my Firefox just crash? He's like kind of looking up towards, because it updated. That's not cool. You don't update the browser in the middle of
That was
what
fine.
I'm doing.
Nothing happened.
That's while I'm at work because we use Firefox.
I've
It's like,
never had
what
this
the
happen
fuck?
before.
I just had it happen a couple of days ago.
That's rude.
No regard.
You will update.
Surprise, bitches.
And of course I don't remember my password because I changed it the other day.
Oh, don't worry, I know it.
Hold on.
It's
No,
it's
got it.
Evermore.
I just gotta get
change the password
to...
to Evermore.
No, it's Whitney is the best.
That's way too low security.
It's a lot of exclamation points to have higher security.
Thank you, roll 20.
That's how that works.
Okay.
Whitney and then is the best, and then 17 exclamation points to get the full
No.
27.
A couple of random ones thrown in there.
I love Whitney Evermore.
I don't listen to Evermore.
Talking to me or Charles?
Both. So the creature will show you like this very, what must be small version looking up at a very tall Kandor. Or maybe there's something else going on because there's like a few other things moving around in the background, and you can hear the occasional sound of and it feels kind of warm. As you're kind of seeing this from the creature's eyes. And then later on, you can see a few people down here in this tunnel. You can see a couple of humans. Actually, I think it was 3 humans, no, 4 humans and a... Or was it all humans? I don't remember. You can see a group of people, 5 of them to be precise. And
Real human?
I think so, actually.
No, I thought Ryan's character wasn't.
Ryan's first character wasn't, but then
I'm
he...
not human.
Oh no, you're right. He switched to
rode a
halfling. He switched to a halfling.
Yeah, he was because he rode a
Yep.
wolf.
Thank you. So yeah, you'll see a
Oh, you're
halfling
talking
among
about
them.
something else.
I'm sorry. So as he's looking at them, he'll speak to them, and they will speak to him as they discuss the details of a crisis in the world above.
Is this still in the memory?
Yes.
Okay.
He is much larger now as he looks down upon them as he speaks to them. And they and they'll ask some questions about the small city that's here, and he'll explain that the city is some of the people that were trusted to be like the best engineers and the some of the best people working in like biological bioarcana that have ever lived, kept here to help rebuild a society that was unexpectedly lost and valuable to humanity and to the world.
I'd like to make an out-of-game joke, so if this does not confuse. Is it the original RPGA?
No, it will definitely never be the original RPGA. We don't need people fighting for certificates.
Yes, we do. I got a cert for that, man.
The foreman will then sort of let the memory subside. This is why we are here. We are here to rebuild and grow and make the world better.
Huh.
If you are here, then our time has rightfully come, as has yours. It means that the device that Kandor had assigned to care for this world has reached a point of weakness, an easily broken point of weakness. Our engineers understand that this can be reinforced, but there are things that are necessary, tools which will fix this contraption, its head and heart. These tools must be located and acquired, and to do that you will need something specifically for the purpose of finding these things. He will the throne will kind of turn for a moment, and the window will kind of fade out, and behind it you can see like stonework, and there's something going on behind the throne, and after a few moments the glass will kind of reappear, and the throne will turn back, the 5 of you. And standing in, or sitting, or resting in his hand as he turns, will be a rod. And he will extend out the rod to...
I liked it, Rasmus. Or Brianna, maybe.
What is it?
What is
Rod.
everyone's alignment?
I am neutral good.
Yeah,
I think this.
good.
I think this is
Yeah, I think we're actually an all good
I
party.
know you're all good. I'm just so
Neutral good
there
as
are
well.
3 neutral goods or 4 neutral goods.
I think
I'm
Kent is the
also-
only non-neutral good.
And then between Erasmus and Constag, what is your intels?
16.
Hold on, I accidentally closed that screen. My intel is 18.
Okay. So he will extend the rod to Erasmus, which is not the way I probably should have phrased that.
It's
Brianna's
fine.
disappointed.
Brianna's always
Big
disappointed
Ed
when she
just
can't get the rod.
Extended your rod.
It's okay. I can handle the rod later.
Just don't tug on it. We'll be fine.
So how about that local sports team?
Yeah,
Here they're on fire.
After I grab the rod, I smoke a cigarette.
you can take the rod, and as you take hold of it, you and he
Oh, Lord.
share a brief experience.
But sensual kiss.
You will see.
I hate you right now.
You will see that the rod, and this is exclusively for you, Erasmus.
Okay.
You will see that the rod has a specific way about it that pulls when you're close to certain things.
Oh my.
Not getting any better. That's for sure. This is not getting any better.
Kind of a magnetic.
When an elf and a Formian have a magical experience.
Of a rod that pulls itself.
I'm open to almost anything. You know, I'm not judgmental.
You will see him speaking with Candor, as they both have their hands holding the rod in the same way that you and he are.
Still not getting better.
I'm gonna say out loud as if in a dream. Candor wants out this rod.
He has shared the rod with Candor as well.
And
A rod gets
How many people
around.
how many people have held this rod?
I'm fine.
Might want to wash your hands.
Oh no. All right, create your scene.
immersion not only ruined but destroyed, liquidated, transformed.
All right, so the
So you see him and Candor, and you hear Candor explaining. The device must be used when the device must be kept a secret, and the objects are kept at each of the major cities produced by the original party, with one final one. Just because I think this would be fun for them to go see this place. It's really snowy and pretty, and nobody ever's going to want to go there otherwise, because nobody's going to care. The other places they're neat to go see, but the city, the snowy one, it'll be nice. But there'll be one item each hidden in each of these places. I'll already have one of them, but don't tell them that. And when they get the item close enough, it will tug towards it. Within the city, they'll be able to feel it kind of guiding them to where it is.
I'm sorry, I have to focus on the seriousness of
And
it.
now you have to put the rod in your pants.
I know, I was just thinking. Now I have to deal with
There's one last part of this scene that I think you'll all appreciate, where Candor says, "Now that I think about it, you're going to share these memories with them, aren't you? Well, then the easiest way for me to tell them this, instead of telling them after they come see me, is, hey, whoever gets this, did you really enjoy all the rod jokes?"
I will say out loudly, mildly.
Well, they will not know that because Candor is not there with you. You'll have to tell him later.
Oh, I feel like I'm flashing into reality.
But yeah, with that, you'll kind of get shuddered back into reality.
Shudder, careful.
That was the goal.
It was kind of like a dream vision. Oh Lord, this device that I was presented with, I was able to see some memories of Candor, and then at the end of it, in Candor fashion, asked if we appreciated all the rod jokes we had made after all of this. I'm going to describe the scene. The device that is protecting the world, is that the verbiage, Steve?
Yes. That is protecting the country.
That is protecting the country. So, I want to note this. So we're going to think, right? I mean, by all logic, I'm going to think Formians look like this, right? Because this is the closest I'm ever going to come.
Yeah, at least this shape is most likely what a Formian looks like.
Okay.
It is important, this will also be said to you, it is important that all of you understand the last place you should look is Halron. It is the most dangerous of all of the cities to go to. There are a lot of protective measures to keep things out.
Where should we go next?
If you already have allies in Fort Jericho, there would be the next place to go. The item there is stored in the deepest of the dungeons. Candor made what he called a callback to the great prison colony of Maxington. So deep beneath Fort Jericho, lies the maze of the Minotaur.
Oh no.
The item should help you in your way through the maze. In Frostholm, it is stored within what Candor referred to as the Cave of Eons, harkening back to a location he had visited a long time ago, the tomb of the once great archwizard or archmage Telerium. In Mearachd, there is a
Shit, we have to go back.
there is a secret library within a secret library.
It's like double secret
Mearachd
probation there.
is likely destroyed now.
The library will still remain.
Huh.
That one seems pretty dangerous to go back to, too.
If you can find the secret library, then you must solve Thoth's 3 puzzles.
All right, which one do we want to... Which one of those sounds worse?
But lastly, in Halron, only Cyan can bring you to the storage place of the last item.
What or who is Cyan?
Should Cyan not live any further, you will need to find Korthus. Should Korthus no longer exist, you will need to find their progeny. This will be the only way to acquire the last object, as it is buried deep within their familial connection. But we warn you as well. This is a place that has been protected with magics forged by the might of Korthus and the might of Blacksmith Inc. This should most certainly be your final destination before returning here with the items.
Where we die.
All right, so there was 3? Halron?
No, it's Halron,
There was
Fort
4.
Jericho, Mearachd, and Fortholm. And Frostholm.
Okay.
Frostholm.
Yeah,
or
Frostholm. And then of course there's one in Harveston that that Candor has.
Well, where do we want to head off to first?
Well, I think we should follow their advice and go to Fort Jericho.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Lastly, I have been asked to do you a favor, and we have a lot of resources at our disposal down here. So please, accept these to help you in your journey. And in your head, each of you will feel the feeling you get when somebody hands you a bag of gold.
Nice.
You have all been given 3,000 brain dollars.
All right.
What?
3,000 brain dollars. They are the equivalent.
Okay, repeating it.
They are the equivalent of gold down here. When you acquire things, there is a mental exchange that will sort of take some of the money from your mind.
How many brain dollars did I have before?
250.
Do we need? Can we only use brain dollars in this?
You
city
can only
then?
use brain dollars in this
So
city.
we need to shop here.
Yes.
What kind of items or spells, etc., are available?
All sorts of things, and we can get to more about that after a very brief break. We'll be back.
20 minutes, y'all. Keep it short.
so is this exciting Marvel Legends exclusive Stan Lee action figure with Captain America shield and simulated autograph.
Just what we need.
Oh
Stan
my
Lee
goodness,
action
I want
figure.
one.
What's
That's
that?
what we always needed. Stan Lee in action figure form.
We did. That's why I bought it, because it was the word needed definitely.
For those
came
of
to
you
mind.
watching, I'm going to be doing this periodically, because if I don't, he'll lose his mind.
Well, it's easier for you. I can't, like, you have a long hallway to throw it down. I can throw it out the door.
But yeah, you guys can, if you guys have any questions, you can ask him any remaining questions. Otherwise, you can head back into the city.
What do you know about horsepower?
He will explain, he will unlock for you the secrets of the of engine power. That you can use mechanical devices with materials inside of them that cause an explosion, and the amount of force that these objects put out is they use a term referred to as horsepower to determine the strength of these explosions as they would move an object connected to them.
I don't know anything about engineering. I'll have to figure out a way to translate the magic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If anyone can translate that to magic, I would say Erasmus could.
I'm all about it.
Any further questions?
Sorry, you said we can spend this money anywhere in this city?
Yes.
I feel like I've just been awarded GTZ bucks again.
Do you know how much it equates to?
Each dollar is worth 1 gold.
Oh, wow.
Are we going to be able to get gold for me and squeezy toys?
You can buy, this is a giant place of engineering and arcana. They have lots of things to sell. But they will have to make them for you. They don't have them on hand. So anything that you'll want, you'll have to wait down here for a few days or come back for in a few days.
I don't know that we could wait down here for a few days without arousing suspicion.
Well, yeah, we don't want our guy, the mining guy, thinking that he's got people killed.
Is there another way we could get in and out of the city without going through the front door?
No.
Do you have any recommendations on what we could purchase that might be helpful with our process of acquiring these other items?
I am not sure what your skills are and what will be good to help you do the things that you do best. But we have a limitless amount of ability to produce anything that you need or could dream of. But the greater your dreams, the longer the time. Hey, buddy, I can't throw it if you grab it from me.
This is loud.
It's pretty funny.
Your turn, Whitney.
Oh, yes, it is. I mean, at least he's better than Hazel, who's like bringing it close.
Any further questions?
I can't think of a thing. I'm just too stunned. Drinking it all in.
We need to go find some magical devices.
Definitely something for helping us with travel, because we're like the slowest MFers.
I'm thinking some form of teleporting device.
It's got to be amazingly expensive.
We've got 15,000 gold, right?
That's true. That's a very good point.
Well,
Thank you for all that you have provided us.
This is amazing.
it is what I was built to do. Well, part of.
Is there anything that you need from us?
To be successful.
And being successful just means acquiring the items and bringing them to Candor.
Bringing them back here. You must bring them back
Bringing
here
them back there.
successfully.
Oh yeah, I'd have totally screwed that up.
We bring them to this city.
Yes.
We don't need to give them to Candor first.
No, but you will need to get the one that Candor likely has.
Will we need to bring Candor back here?
He will let you know about that.
What is the name of this city?
Fucking Candor.
Name?
Yes.
Why does it need a name?
Just so we can refer to it when we talk about it in our group.
The underground city kind of works, doesn't it?
How about Formia? You all like doing things like that, right? Taking part of one thing and putting IA at the end of it?
Yeah, that's pretty big with humans. I've noticed that myself in names.
Well, then you can call it Formia.
So it shall be. Formia. It's got a nice ring to it.
If you say so.
Okay.
Alright, so
Huh. That was fantastic.
So shall we try and go find a teleportation device?
Yeah. I think that would be pretty snifty.
Okay. You can roam around looking for ways to teleport. And I think this is a pretty expensive ordeal that you're looking for, but let's take a look.
I would assume.
Even if it's like a one-time use, it would still be.
It'd still get us further along because we're slow
So
going.
you cannot put it on a wand, so it'd have to be a wondrous item.
Uh-huh.
Or a staff, but that would be the most expensive.
No
Yeah.
rods, huh? Oh. Are you done for now, bud?
All right, so you're saying you would want something that's once per day, maybe that can teleport you from one place to another.
Yes.
Yes, that would be ideal.
Do you want it to be something that somebody would have to wear in order to initiate it, or would you want it to be something that would actually we can do this in character. There are many variables to think of when thinking of items like these. If you're looking for something to teleport, and you're looking to drive down the cost, we must think in terms of what your minimum requirements are and then build around your minimum requirements. So your interest is once per day to bring it down to one level. You would also probably need to be able to bring all of you, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
How many total?
6.
Okay.
Is that including the stag?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good. And additionally, is there any way that you all could shrink any of yourselves down and put yourselves into containers? That could substantially lower the price.
we can do that with the stag.
So you could go down as low as 5.
Yes, but transporting 6 would still be better. That would give us the ability to take someone with us.
Sure, but that
Like
would
Pandora
substantially
had.
increase your cost.
Yeah. Well, let's shoot for 6 and work our way down.
Times 5 times. Look up teleport real quick. He is like going through a series of books and a series of notes that he has in a couple of different places. And as he does, like he'll like go through a book, kind of palm the page of the book and like lift the page, not like the physical page, but he'll lift like a translucent version of the words off the page and he'll like put them in the air in front of him. In front of him,
Wow.
and then he'll close the book and then go to another book and like put another copy of the words in front of him in a different spot. And he's kind of doing this, and there are just like strings of words and like diagrams and various other things that rapidly begin filling the air around him. So it is one additional medium creature per 3 caster levels. So at minimum caster level, it would move 4 people. So it needs to be, that's 9. So then 12. 12 would be 4. 15.
Carry the 1.
And then divide by. So the issue you have here, well, you're close to the number that you're after, is this additional need for so many people. That leaves you at 27,000 gold that would be required for a once per day usage of teleportation.
How much do we have altogether?
15,000.
So if you could lower the number of people.
If we took it down to 5?
Well, no, right now it is at 5. This is with 5, not with 6.
Oh. Oi.
If we did it at the minimum possible, you would be looking at 16,000.
Which we still don't have. Is there any way to reduce the usage?
This is with reduced usage. This is reduced down to once per day.
What about if we went lower than that?
It is experimental to make it lower than that.
Or what if we had to pay every time we use it?
That magic is still yet unstable. We've only known of one group that's ever been able to stabilize that that kind of arcana, and we don't work alongside them for good reason.
Okay.
Doesn't sound good.
Would that happen to be blacksmithing?
Yes, it would. Let's see. Let me do some math here. 5, 5. So, if we were to give you once per week, I believe I could stabilize this. That would bring you down to about 12,000 brain dollars.
Now, if we get it and we set it to that, will you be able to expand this, or would we need to create a whole new device?
You mean to make it work more times per day or more people per day?
Let's start with more times.
More times is going to be the harder part. More people would be slightly easier. We could probably manage to put it in an arcane refuser, and we should be able to push a little bit more energy in it. But it would be rather unstable. Now, right now, though, we're looking at the minimum number of people. So that would be 4 people. If we go up from there, one moment, let me redo my calculations. My apologies.
Certainly.
Who else wants to get tucked into a jar?
I mean, I think I'd fit great.
I'm all for a new product. Mordecai in a jar.
Can't
Mordecai.
halflings count as half of a person? So
Nikolai in a jar.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you.
Then we're only 4.5 people. There you go.
Yeah. An elf is a 75% of a person, unless it's one of the tall ones, in which case it's 1 1/15, right?
This is so hard to do the math for. I hate divided by things. or divided by fractions. It's divided by, and then a fraction. That turns out way too low to do that.
Excuse me.
I cannot quite figure out the sustainable components to do this. I'll need some time to think on this and how I can make this stable. I like your idea, and I think this could be a very efficient way to move from place to place. What space upon your body would you wear it?
What would you recommend?
Well, the item needs to likely go most efficiently on your hands, as you'll need to be in contact with those other things that you'll want to teleport.
I was thinking bracelets.
Bracelets could do as well. People would need to hold on to the bracelets then as you're going to do that, and maybe you clasp them together, and it triggers.
Would it be better if they were gloves?
Something arm related would be important.
Or a ring.
Something easy. Ring would not be such a good idea. Ring would be a bit unstable, as not everyone would necessarily be able to hold the ring. It helps if it's two separated objects that you can kind of form a circle around.
How about? I don't know. I'm thinking like a foldable
arm
gate.
cuff.
A what? A folded weight.
Gate. Like two sides of a gate. I don't know.
That won't go into any of your bodily slots, and so the magic becomes a bit more unstable. You see, most magic is stabilized by a person, but when you have to make the object freestanding and not rooted in the earth permanently, you run into a large number of different, more extensive complications.
What if it was like a glove?
Yes, that was my first suggestion.
Yeah, that was
sorry.
That's okay.
I was looking through something.
Well, glove seems like a possibility.
I think glove is it.
Would it matter who wears it?
I think the point is we all wear one.
Yeah, that's what I
one
was
person wore it and we all
anticipating.
had to touch it.
Yeah, we all have to touch it.
Right.
I would.
If we all have one component of it and they all
No,
together
so the way this
Oh.
would work, actually, if
Damn.
you point out that as an option, his brain will start spinning up a lot, and he's like, oh, yes, I could divest the magic amongst multiple different objects. However, it's going to need to. That could be an added instability there, though, because you'll have to keep them on for them to recharge. But if you don't change them out and each of you are always wearing them, that could be doable. We could divide the item amongst itself, and yes, that might keep the charging more stable as well, rather than running all the energy through one specific person.
Well, but who would be in control of it? Because from my understanding with teleport, you have to be able to recall or picture where you're going.
Oh, yes, fair point. And if you can't all picture the location, it could have devastating consequences, potentially shredding all of you across the world itself if each of your images of the place you're going are different from each other's.
even if one of the gloves was like a control piece.
if you have one control piece, it in of itself is the actual object. Think of this like when you experience the shield other spell, where other people are wearing the platinum rings, only one person is truly holding the real spell. I do believe, though, that this is something that we can accomplish for around this teleportation. If one person were using very specifically gloves that they had to wear for a period of 7 days before they would be able to teleport, we could do this for around 4,000 GP. That is the lowest I think I can get this and have it be stable. And that would be capable of teleporting 5 of you.
How much then for 6? Because I think that's what we'd like ideally.
I do not think 6 could be stable.
Oh, okay.
The issue we have there is we need to have our wizards capable of producing it. And the complication here is that we do not have a wizard of that power here. We have one that's barely at the level required to give 5 of you the ability to transport. It's very important as well that you know where you want to go before you go there. So you need to have seen it.
Oh, Lord.
Or been there. Otherwise, you're taking a very big chance you end up somewhere else.
What if somebody could very clearly describe it to us, like Candor, for example, or could share a memory? Would that be
sharing a
sufficient?
memory would be sufficient. Not having been there, not having seen it or in any way, shape, or form, you will almost certainly end up where you do not intend to go. Or having nothing occur at all.
Why are we in the water?
Okay, so that's 4,000. So we have another 11,000 to decide how we want to use.
Wait, so that whole item only costs 4,000?
Yes, because it has to be. It can only be used once per week, and the gloves must be worn for a period of 7 days before you can use them. So if you take the gloves off, the magic is lost from the item, and you'll have to put the gloves on and wear them for 7 more days.
What if we bought 3 of them?
That could be erratic. We could try, but it would...
We could teleport more frequently.
As there is only one of us that can make these, though, you'll be waiting about 12 days before you'll be able to get anything done. Or before you'll be able to use them. Well, you'll need to wait 12 days plus the additional 7 days for the gloves to charge.
What do you all think about that idea of trying to get 3 of them?
I'm not so sure that we should be spending that much time.
Are there other things people want to buy?
Scrolls of teleportation?
Yeah, we might
How
as
much
well.
would those cost?
A scroll would be dramatically cheaper, but no one in the party would be able to. Well, you'd have to roll. Have to make a cast level check to try to cast the spell, since none of you knows the spell right now, or none of you can cast the spell right now at your current level. But that would be 1,125 per scroll. And that scroll would only be able to carry 4 people. For a scroll that carries everybody, it would be... Oops, I did the wrong math. It would be 1,875. And it would be cast level 15.
Why are you being a bird?
What about wings?
Would you want...
They said engineering. Could they build us wings?
Not that we've been able to sustain reliable flight with.
Oh.
We are here in an underground civilization. We don't have a lot of ability to experiment with things like wind and other difficulties in the air. And so we found most of our tests don't work well.
How about a flying carpet that supports 6?
That would be around 60,000 gold.
Yeah,
So no.
So no. Yeah,
You
but they
have-
usually have insane maneuverability class and are usually the fastest flying objects.
Do you have any ideas of other things that might be able to help us?
I think your teleportation idea is a good idea.
Okay.
Having an item like this could substantially cut down for many people the ability to get from place to place, and you all would be the first people to truly experiment with such magic.
Perhaps we could get other items with our remaining funds that would help.
That's fine too. I was just trying to think of ways to speed things up.
I mean, yeah, we could also get a few scrolls of teleportation.
Super fast boots.
Ooh. Is there such a thing?
There are boots that
Boots of
can
speed.
increase your speed to double, or by roughly
Yeah,
double.
but that's not. Yeah, that's not going to be great though.
So you'd cut your travel time in half.
I was thinking perhaps a headband that would make me more charismatic.
We can casually make such things. We have many people that could produce those.
I like the idea of having an item that we can teleport. I'm just saying, since we were able to figure out a way to get it at a little bit less cost, that perhaps we should find some things to, make ourselves stronger.
Is there anything that could create horses when we need them?
Of course.
Horses in a bottle.
I love it.
Are there people down here that know how to make boarding for animals?
We could arrange that, yes. This horse's idea is another very clear option. We could make little statuette horses that you could then transform into full-size horses, and when if they're destroyed, they will revert back to their statuette form.
Oh.
What does it take to turn them from statues into horses?
You just need to rub them each morning, and they will grow.
And then do they not eat like normal creatures?
They are not actual horses, but they are horses. They are magical.
So they could transport us.
Yes, they would last for some amount of time, and then
What amount?
return back. It depends on how long you would want them to last for, and then we would program them around that.
And how much would these horses be?
Hold on.
Dude, this sounds like my ebony fly idea.
It is similar to the ebony fly idea. How many hours did you say? Sorry.
What are we thinking? At least 12.
Very well.
That would mean there's also no danger of them being eaten at night because they would be statues.
Each horse would be around 4,800.
Ooh.
That's still only about 3.
Yeah, I know.
But
They can just
but we could get a cart and then we'd only need 2.
That's
If
not a
we-
bad idea.
if we hook them up to a cart, can they pull a cart like a regular horse?
You said for riding. This is a weird
Now we're changing to
Asterisk.
draft horses.
Yeah, I was just thinking
Oh,
that.
I wasn't thinking about horses for riding. I was thinking about cart horses.
Yes, technically different.
You could say we got the cart before the horse.
But I'm bummed.
But draft horses would make more sense.
Yes, agreed.
Because then we could store them in the cart,
More expensive.
thus creating horsepower.
There is a variant that can be done for where these would be full-size permanently stone horses, and these would be around 10,000 gold each, and they can do a large number of things. But it never needs to rest or eat.
And we would need 2 to pull a cart, right?
Yes. Presumably.
At least. If it was just us, yeah, at least.
How much would it cost to enchant a cart to pull itself?
This gets complicated.
Because if horsepower was a thing, we could just do it.
Oh, you wish to use the spell of horsepower?
Yes!
Oh. Well, that could be done.
Exactly what does the spell of horsepower do? And could you say it out loud so everyone can hear?
Certainly. The spell of horsepower will apply in equal amount of force to an object as though the object were either being pulled or pushed by a horse. What is it? It's technically 4 horses for some reason is how they measure horsepower.
4 horses for some reason.
Equal to 4 horses applying pressure.
Is this a spell that was recently created?
We have been fabricating such a spell for a long time, wondering if at some point there might need to be a way to provide a system of moving objects in a much more organized fashion under very specific parameters.
Sounds very interesting, almost like it's a real thing.
We didn't doubt it was a real thing. We just didn't care.
Oh, you don't care?
No, I didn't see. Was not an area I was interested in researching. If it turns out it has valuable use, I'll care. But at that point, it was not my wheelhouse.
The issue we have found with the spell of horsepower is that it needs to be a activatable thing. So you must sort of focus on utilizing the spell of horsepower if we apply it to things.
Put that magic in a pendant?
No, we need to apply it to an object. This is where the young lady's example of applying it to a cart would come in handy. You would apply the spell of horsepower to it and create a control mechanism which tells the spell of horsepower to be cast on it in a specific direction. And then the object is moved in that direction. One of the things we have been working on is a balanced sphere with a resting point on the top of it. But we've been largely unsuccessful. We have these wheels that can turn slightly that we've attached to some pillars to give it stability. And he'll grab out another book and he'll lay it down and he'll drag this schematic out of his book and he'll float it in the air above you. And it looks like somebody took a stand or like a stage, and they put pillars around it, and there's a part where it rests on top of this giant ball, and the little top comes out of the top of it, and there is a little control stick at the top of it that taps the ball.
Is this person someone that I can just share memories with? I could.
Yes. In order to exchange brain dollars, you must be able to do that. So all of them have these headbands on that allow them to, if they're not the mechanical Formians, these things can still exchange.
So I will start remembering and thinking back on the carts in Sierra Savant and how they.
Dreadful design. These are hideous. Why would anyone design something this way? How does it turn? You have to treat it like there are still horses attached to turn it? Nonsense. You want full, even turning. If you push the stick a certain way, you want the device to move the same way that you're pushing the stick. Nonsense. What lazy things this is. Those
That's what I
are
say.
probably largely being moved by some sort of invisible horse-like thing, probably phantom steed magic.
I specifically start remembering the rock fight and how Goron was like handling the cart and like trying to keep us from going off the edge.
Very, very disappointing work. Lazy engineers. Our design is much better. We could design something like this for you.
You coming? You gonna come down? Come on.
Would this be suitable, or do you not like its appearance?
Anybody?
Works.
Is
for
there a
me.
picture? I'm looking.
I
at
don't
the
have a
screen.
picture. I haven't drawn it. Like,
Oh, okay. I was like,
Okay, I was looking for the picture too. I'm like,
no, the best way I would put it, there's like, it's very difficult to sort of describe this because it's sort of an idea of engineering that I don't like. I don't know. I don't know that anybody's actually done it, and I don't know how I would describe it in a Google search to find it. And I am not an engineer.
this would work.
sounds great to me.
So the spell of horsepower.
Now I can get back to my shoemaking studies.
With horsepower moving things, that might revolutionize shoes.
Could. Because
Yeah.
we could just build it down smaller and fit it into shoes.
The issue you have
Movable shoes.
The issue you have in applying this to foot gear is you don't have a way to properly trigger the mechanism separately. The spell of horsepower applies the action to the object that you interact with.
Yes, but it turns out shoes are so magical that when you put them on, they transport you anywhere.
Yes, Ray Bradbury, like gazelles.
I think you're confusing shoes with books.
All that too.
That too.
We could build this contraption for
Right
you.
now, the card is the important part.
We could build
Yeah.
this contraption for you for about 12,000 gold. 12,000 brain dollars.
And how quickly would that take?
Roughly 12 days.
I mean, honestly, it would give us it would give us two very good means of transportation.
Yeah, if we had a cart, we could carry other things besides ourselves.
All right, so we're going with the cart then, right? That seems like the more logical choice, as much as I love the teleportation. What is the party's thoughts?
I say cart.
Constag?
Cart. No, I'm not Consog, sorry.
That's all right. Well, that's 2 for cart, 3 for cart. Mordecai, Nikolai, and Constag. What do you think? I'm having a rough brain night.
I do like the teleportation because, a cart could be damaged or stolen, but I feel like it's a bit too risky given how unstable it is and kind of all of the compromises we have to make. So I feel like the cart would be more of a reliable choice.
While the teleportation gloves would get us faster, it's likely only usable after coming back from a place
Bless
than
you.
going to it. So the cart would probably be the better
Wow.
choice. Beautiful.
Unanimity.
Yes.
Almost like a real party.
Quite impressive that you've all come to this decision so quickly. Well, if this is what you'd like, we can complete the transaction, and we will get started right away in building your device.
All
How
right.
much is it?
We appreciate that.
It will be
12,000 brain bucks.
it will be too large for us to finalize here. So we will need to build the contraption, miniaturize it, and then apply the final magics to it once we bring it to the surface. Where should we have it delivered to you?
The Pegasus Inn.
It will be too large to be delivered there. When we do the finishing.
How about at the mouth of the mine?
We could do that, yes.
Just right out there in the open. Why not?
Yes, we appreciate that very much.
Excellent.
Is there anything folks want to do with the remaining 3,000 brain bucks?
We could just hold on to them.
Yeah.
Apparently, we have to come back here at some point.
We'll probably need to repair the cart. We'll open up a Brain Bank Bucks account and see if we can slowly gather interest throughout the years. Get a good, nice APR.
Well, you guys have, there's nothing else that any of you can think of that you'd want?
I thought you were talking about a headband.
Yeah.
Brianna, how much is that?
It's normally 4,000, so it's fine. It's fine. It's not something I need right away. I was just proposing that if we were going to just spend 4,000 on a teleport device, we could gear ourselves up or something like that.
Is there anything else? I'm thinking this is the party funds. If anybody sees anything that the party is really lacking on, that we could use this.
We could look into barding for the stag.
I'm for barding for the stag. We do need to have that MVS taken care of. How much is a device to talk to stags? I'm not saying that if one party member wanted to speak to a stag.
We could devise you a device to allow you to speak with animals.
How much would that be?
One moment.
More than 3,000, I would guess.
I would imagine.
Such things could be accomplished in short burst durations. How often would you want to speak to it?
Yeah, let's say on the regs. Want to have long conversations and find out what the stag really thought about life.
Well, now we get into complexities. Making sure your mind is capable of always understanding the sounds and intonations of an animal is rather difficult. Let's see here. We would be looking at the base of 2,000, but the object is done over a series of this amount of time. So we would be looking at about 3,000 gold. And it would go into the slot of a headband.
We don't want to.
Why? We have 3,000, right?
Yeah, we're going to need that for emergency healing or something.
And that would be one person being able to speak to the stag.
Yeah, we don't need it just so I can have random conversations with this stag.
Can't Constog cast Speak with Animals on Erasmus?
It's range personal.
Oh, okay. So only she can talk. Okay.
And then she just hogs the stag's thoughts to herself, or himself, anyway. Well, okay, so we do have, like I said, I'm going to come back to this. We do have the problem that we get knocked out and lose time to healing. Anybody have any thoughts on how to overcome that?
Healing? A wand of?
Yeah, that might be our best bet. Do you guys have wands of healing for sale?
We could fabricate a wand for you, like of that sort. It would be fairly easy.
How much is a cure mod?
One moment.
My hair is so naughty.
That would be 4,500 gold.
Shucks. All right. How much for cure light?
750.
And that's with 50, right?
That is correct.
Do we want to spend the 750 on the cure light? What does the party think?
Sure, get a couple.
All right, we'll take those.
Very good. 1,500. Each of you can feel
All right.
each time they do this, like it pulls, like it's like pulling money out of your head.
Wow. Huh. Anybody else have any other thoughts? So we're working on the transportation issue, the healing issue. Is there anything else?
That we can get for 1,500? I'm not sure if that's.
No. So let's hold on to this these brain bucks, and you know,
We just have to keep in mind that we can only use them here.
I'm
don't
sure they
wanna
have
let them go to
fantastic
waste.
restaurants here that probably serve buffalo cauliflower. You know what I mean? Theirs is probably really good.
Do we want to just get 2 more Cure Light Wounds wands? That 4 of us could have them?
Well, I mean, I have that spell. That is one of the spells that I have.
Mhm.
So I don't necessarily need a wand because I can just cast it. So long
Yeah,
as
I
I'm in a
think-
position to cast.
But it would save your spell points, right?
I don't really have a whole lot I can do with spell points anyway.
I think 2 is enough, personally.
Okay, well, I guess we're done then.
Okay.
Are you guys hungry? You want to check out a food joint while we're
Yeah.
here?
Do
There are
they
food
serve
joints in
motor
Mormon.
oil or?
No, there's places to eat down
That's-
here. It's just
Of course, there's
it's
places.
just
Cauliflower?
very, very different. No, there's no cauliflower. A lot of the stuff down here
What?
is mushroom and other fungi prepared in a variety of
Oh.
ways. Often made into some sort of like kind of goo stew.
Goose stew.
So before we eat that, how long have we been down here, Herr GM?
About an hour.
Huh. Okay. Do we think it's enough time to leave our compatriot upstairs worried, or should we?
I think we might want to head back up soon.
He said he
Not
was going to
close.
come back in about an hour to check on us.
Yeah, not cause any suspicion.
Do you want to buy for real? Do you want to buy a nice bottle of wine from this village just for the funsies of it?
Do they have nice wine?
So
Well, it could be something interesting. It
not
could be a
wine,
fungus-
but they have a fungus-based alcohol that has been fermented. It has a very earthy taste.
I would imagine. How much is that a bottle?
They'll sell that to you for like you can get cheap stuff for 5 silvers, or they have stuff that they put a lot more processing into for as high as 20 gold.
Well, we don't want to get the 20 gold in case we can't drink it. So let's get 3 up from the 3 up from the like a nice 1 gold
Okay,
piece range.
no problem. Yeah, so you can spend 3 brain dollars on some bottles of fungus. I don't have a term, but it is like a wine.
Fungal wine.
Yeah, I don't like the term fungal wine. That sounds terrible.
Spirit.
Fung-
Fungal spirit.
That also sounds
Yeah,
terrible.
let's try distilled fungal spirits.
Fungus on anything doesn't
Yeah.
sound right. So
Fungus juice.
Fung juice.
No, let's go for the gross fungus milk.
There you go. All right. Either way, you can grab the 3 bottles and head on up.
All right, we're heading on
You'll
up.
be escorted by that same foreman again, who will once again like open the wall for you and let the 5 of you through. As you make your way up, the gentleman will be standing at the entrance with a pair of people dressed in armor.
Oh shit, do they see us coming out of the wall?
No, they're way up top.
Oh, good.
I got worried, and I had to get people to make sure I was gonna send them down since it had been so long. You're okay, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
we
all
got-
fine. Thank you for your concern.
we found some fungus we were looking at and got a little engrossed in it.
Was it?
You can drink wine made of fungus,
I've never had any idea. That sounds terrible.
Huh.
Why would anyone want to
That's
drink
not-
fungus wine?
We were gonna bottle some and send you some as a thank you.
Oh, well, I guess I could try it, but it sounds like it would be disgusting.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
Well,
Might
thank you
not.
for the tour.
You're welcome.
I will wink at him and say, if you want to try some later, I'm at the White Pegasus Inn, room 207.
I'm not supposed to fraternize with clients.
Oh, okay.
Can we give him a tip?
I cannot accept tips.
No gratuities, eh?
No. I can accept
Well,
no.
Come out.
I can accept no compensation from you in this arrangement, as that would ruin the integrity of the sale.
Okay.
Well, we wouldn't
thank
want to
you.
get you in trouble.
Thank you. But shall we head out? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll guide you guys outside, lock everything up as he goes. And yeah, you can all part ways. He'll give you a few more details and, try to sell you on the real value behind it. You're buying property owned by heroes. But after, multiple times you guys, pushing it off maybe, or sounding interested, he'll just, get the hint and head off. But yeah, you all have 12 days in town.
No, Lord.
It's a lot of buffalo cauliflower ones to eat.
It is. A lot of reading about slings and their history.
Good thing you have your own room.
All right, so I'm all about trying that mushroom elixir.
Elixir.
Yeah, we're going with that now. I'm not sure what to call that.
Elixir makes it sound magical. Is it magical?
Just call it fun wine.
Magic mushroom.
How about foon? Or fine?
Let's
Or
just
fig?
try it.
All right, Erasmus is going to get a glass, pour a small amount, and drink it.
Okay.
It tastes as good as I would imagine wine
It's
made
fine.
of
Yeah.
mushroom. Yeah, good taste.
If you like a more bitter wine, it's got a lot of that, and kind of tastes a little dirty.
Does he need any healing afterwards?
No.
This would be the time Erasmus discovers he's deathly allergic to mushrooms. It's like most things made of mushrooms. It doesn't taste awful, but it doesn't taste great. It tastes like mushrooms.
I mean, I guess at least there's no texture to it, right? It's not like squishy.
Doesn't have real hunks of shroom in it, does it?
It does not.
No, surprisingly, it does not.
You got the non-pulp version.
Yeah, the pulp that would have been the 5 silver version. Would have been the pulp. They got an extra pulp version for people that really like to. I don't know.
Max pulp. It's like people who get extreme chunk peanut butter.
Don't knock my peanut butter.
Look,
Steve.
I like extreme chunk. I'm just saying, it is basically peanuts with some butter applied in between them, fusing them together.
Yeah, I feel like it's like we just dumped it in the grinder. Add the butter. We're calling it extreme chunk.
We're gonna charge the same price as we charge for the full process, though.
Yeah, full process. Let this nerd eat his gloop of peanut. All right, so 12 days.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Gloop of peanut.
Brianna,
Speaking of that, by the way, just on an unrelated note, just a side commentary. The 100 grand bar has got to be the laziest candy bar out there.
Oh.
We poured peanuts over some caramel. We did it.
It is my son Paul's favorite candy bar, and it's like, what? Like, this is the candy bar that does so little.
Yeah.
Line up peanuts, pour candy on it. Look, it's a chocolate on it. It's a candy bar now.
There's not even chocolate though,
it's
right?
it's the 100 grand.
Just peanuts.
I think you're confusing
and
with the Baby
caramel.
Ruth.
Oh, okay.
Baby Ruth is delicious.
The 100 grand is. Oh no, there is chocolate on 100 grand. I might be getting
Yeah.
them confused.
Oh, Payday. I
Payday
think
is the one I'm
what it
thinking of.
Payday, yeah.
Payday.
Don't knock my favorite candy bar. I got a thing for peanut flavor things.
Yeah. Payday. The piece of I guess they have nougat in there as well, but caramel and nougat coated in peanuts.
I don't like hearing you say the word nougat.
Nougat. Nougat.
Unfortunately, whenever I hear the word nougat, I think of Cat Scratch Fever. It's a long trip, but yeah. Because that's what I thought his name was the first couple of times. Ted Nougat? No, Nougat.
An ad just started. Randomly playing. Stop that. Don't do that.
On what?
I had a YouTube video queued up and I was closing some tabs and then it jumped back over to that one, and because my Firefox had restarted, it's like, oh, you want me to start this video now? No.
Steve's video on nougat.
Nougat.
How to make your own nougat.
The video on rods, probably.
Nougat fondant.
Broads?
Rods.
Like the rods you put in your pants.
You cover a rod
Oh
in
my God.
nougat.
Or it's a rod full of
A
nougat.
moist nougat rod.
Moist.
Sorry. Stop.
It's one of my favorite 70s musicians, Rod Nougat. No. He was from England. His name was like Ian de Klerk.
But yeah, so 12 days is a lot of time. Is there anything important that you want to do in these 12 days?
Brianna's gonna be looking for places to perform, maybe look for some dates,
Okay.
Typical Brianna fun.
I am going to research all the places we have not been.
Okay.
So you said there was a snowy place?
Yeah, there is Frostholm, Halron. Frostholm is the snowy place. Halron is the last place they recommend you go.
Dangerous place.
Fort Jericho you've been to. Mearachd you've been to. And Harveston you've been
oh,
to.
the one that's on fire. Cool, cool.
Fine.
Mearachd? What is that? Mearachd? What? I'm not familiar with that. Mearachd?
Is he able to learn anything useful about what we can expect?
So yeah, so Frostholm is a small like winterscape city, cold all year round, very very quiet place. The like nestled within it is a large cave. The Cave of Eons, as was talked about. No one believes that it's a real thing. They mostly see it as a landmark. No one's actually been able to enter it. Like, if you start to walk towards it, like, you start to kind of slow down to a point that you'll, like, stop in place. And then they have to, like, push towards you very carefully an object to kind of pull you out of it, and it can be rather deadly to pull someone out of it because you're sort of, the way that it's told is that like it was like an art experiment project where somebody wanted to make time manipulation a piece of art, and so like as you're walking closer to it, time is slowing down around you, but if you pull someone out of it, you're kind of stretching them across different lengths of time to do that, and it can be very jarring on your body to have that happen. If you walk far enough, it's believed that you'll be under a permanent stasis effect, but no one has ever really walked far enough.
Wow. This is at Frostholm?
This is in Frostholm, but it's very well protected, which is why no one's ever really successfully gotten close enough.
That's kind of far out. Now I want to go do that.
But it's kind of like it's the big attraction for Frostholm. People will come to see it. They periodically have to like clean the front of it because people will like throw things at it. There's like signs all over that say don't throw things at it, but people can't resist like throwing it and watching the object like move and then slowly fall back down and then hit the ground. And then they periodically have to have like a thing that comes through and like cleans the area beneath it.
Huh.
But this is the thing that you're supposed to enter into. It is said that deep in there is a cave that will lead you to one of the pieces of whatever you need.
Is it the pieces to put our ship back together to go to planet Funkatron?
No.
How many Toe Jam and Earl references have you had in a game, Steve?
I think there was one other, but... But yeah, the days will sort of drift by.
I want to do some ukulele practice.
Sure.
Any ukulele teachers in town that I could...
You can meet with somebody who will tutor you for some of that time in ukulele, and if you want, you can trade some of your skill points in something else and move them to perform ukulele if you want.
No,
Okay.
Sadly.
Which ook are you learning? Because I didn't know there was more than one, and a friend of mine who plays it says there's 3, which blows my mind.
I'm not aware.
Brianna, you'll have some trouble finding places to perform. There will be plenty of places to meet very interesting people. If you spend more time exploring the city, you'll discover that there are a wide variety of different things besides what is being marketed towards you in the pamphlet. There are places more akin to your liking, and you'll find out that like there are a lot of places that won't advertise within that because they don't agree with the ethics of what is happening there.
I will definitely hit those places up.
As you do that and come back at later times in the evening, you will continue. You'll like watch as your ads like change more so into other places that are similar, but not the same. Yeah, anybody else got specific stuff they want to do while waiting the 12 days?
I am going to be walking around, looking at as many things as possible to see if what else has a glow about it.
Yeah, so you'll find a large number of things. Periodically, some people will light up in certain ways. You'll see a couple of different colors when the people light up as well. You'll see red, you'll see blue, and you will see green.
Red, blue, and green.
Yes.
Just on people?
Just on random people as you're passing by.
Huh. So when I look up books on the heroes, is there a book on our hero Candor?
There is not a public book on Candor.
I'm surprised he has not published a book on himself. It's so like it would be on brand.
Perhaps there's a reason.
Yeah, perhaps. How about on some of his traveling compatriots, like
you can find various little short stories about different people that have been published by Rossavant. But they are like sort of snippets from experiences. Nothing has been written in kind of epic form.
Okay.
You also, though, strangely, if you go through this, if you spend like the week going through stories, you'll find inconsistencies in some of the stories. Sometimes stories are told about the characters being one way, and then other times they're told about the characters being significantly different.
Huh.
There is a story specifically about a Rezix who is a very like reserved person, and then suddenly he becomes a very heroic and determined person. Like, he's very reserved and had like failed out of the military, and then all of a sudden he's very heroic and gung-ho about the military.
Huh. And these are, I assume, written by different people, right?
They're all written by Rossavant. That is the name on the book.
Rossavant?
That is Kandor's last name.
Oh, how
So it's
interesting.
Kandor's relative?
Maybe.
Well, no, it's Kandor's last name.
Right,
I
so this person is Kandor's relative, or...
When I search for Rossavant, anything?
There is no other Rossavant that you will find.
If I Google White Pages Rossavant, does it tell me of 8 of them in Kansas City?
No.
That they'll sell me their information for $30 a pop or something?
Anything else in the meantime?
Is
Weird
there-
meowing.
Hungry kitty.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Is there anyone in this town that might have, or is able to make animal barding?
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of barding
We got
do you
some
want?
time.
You want to put the stag in full plate?
You know what? Put something on the stag's antlers, like adamantium caps. That way it overcomes DR.
Shoot. Alright, so...
If you're gonna do barding, you should do full plate, because full plate is form-fitted and
incredibly expensive, since
incredibly
barding
expensive.
costs 4 times the price for creatures.
So what's the best for light armor currently?
So it depends on dex. What's your animal companion's dex bonus?
+4.
So right now you could either go with chain shirt or hide shirt. I'm sorry, chain shirt is technically the highest total armor bonus you would get. At +4, as for a light. They could put some chain on it, and the cost on that would be... Hold on. I'm pretty sure it was 4 times. Oh no, it's 2 times. Okay. So they could produce a regular set for about 200 gold, or they could make a exceptional set of it for 500 gold.
What would be the benefits of the exceptional?
The armor check penalty would be lessened by 1. So that would
got
affect
the money?
some of the skills that the stag might use.
Yeah, we don't want it taking a long time on its climb checks. Swim checks. Because if we're getting to the point where the stag is making swim checks, we want it to make those.
I think for right now I'll just go with regular.
Okay.
So that is...
Yep. So look up the stats for a chain shirt and apply it to the armor section of your mount.
What was the cost again?
200 gold. All right. Anybody else got anything specific? All right. So I think we're gonna wrap up here then. What I'm gonna need all of you to do for homework for next week is I need the 5 of you to figure out how you're gonna pick this thing up from there. So perhaps you guys can come up with some ideas, and we'll see what you come up with next week.
You mean, or what?
Pick up the cart.
Yeah, which is going to be on the inside of the fence at the entrance of the mine.
Yep. We'll see what you guys decide on next week.
I like it.
Do we get any XP?
Oh yeah, I'll hand out some XP. You guys can all take 2,000 XP for the session.
Yeah. We're on our way.
Oh, you're starving. I know.
Discovering the Formian King.
That was nice. Thank you, Steve.
Welcome. All right. Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.